Welcome back. Today's account is the Batman of Kent. It was a sighting that took place on November the 16th, 1963 on Sandling Road. The two witnesses, 17-year-old John Flaxton and 18-year-old Mervyn Hutchinson, were walking home from a party with several other friends when they noticed a large glowing object over the park. It hovered above the fields. It eventually made its way behind the trees and settled in the foliage of the woods at the back of Sandling Park. While the teenagers were still coming to terms with what they've seen, something even more inconceivable would soon grab their attention. Moments after the extraordinary craft apparently landed behind the trees, the teens noticed a shaking in the brush, and what emerged was one of the strangest creatures they had ever seen. Later, the four horrified eyewitnesses would explain that an erratic, shambling, quasi-humanoid figure emerged from the woods and waddled towards them. The beast apparently looked like a headless bat, but was approximately 5 feet tall, with large webbed feet and wings protruding from its back. In Hutchinson's own words, it didn't seem to have any head. There were huge wings on its back, like bat wings. Less than a week later, another young man named Keith Croucher came forward and confirmed the teen's sighting by saying that he had also seen an odd egg-shaped craft hovering over the local soccer field, not far from where Flaxton and Hutchinson had seen their bizarre craft. Then, on November the 23rd, John McCormick decided that the reports coming from Sandling Park were simply too outrageous to be ignored. So he asked a friend to accompany him. Mr. McGoldrick and his cohort made their way to the site of all the unusual goings-on, hoping perchance to have a face-to-face encounter with the strange alien creature. Once inside the woods, Mr. Goldrick claimed to have discovered 3 footprints, each 24 inches long and 9 inches across. He also stated they had stumbled across an area where the foliage had been flattened as if by some tremendous weight. McGoldrick's claims caught the ear of the local press, who were no doubt eager to feed the public's ever-growing appetite for new information. And to that end, the newsman accompanied McGoldrick back to the scene of the weirdness on December the 11th. Their words, not mine. In the 1970s, Chris Wolfe decided to reopen the case. He was a local ufologist, and according to his records, he interviewed Flaxton and also inspected the scene of the unearthly encounter. And he came to the conclusion that they had seen nothing more than a common crow. Now, we don't know what we saw, do we? Because we weren't there. But the area itself is surrounded by other strange accounts and witnesses coming forward who have seen strange humanoid-like creatures. Only a short distance away in the area, the Medway footprints were found, and this sighting is within easy walking distance of 2 British UK Bigfoot sightings, the Beast of Bluebell Hill and the Chatham 8-Man. Now, this is a very urban area when you look, but it's on the very edge of an urban area, and that's where most of the sightings seem to happen, as if whatever these creatures are, whatever this creature is, it's actually skirting the town. Now, it must have been a while ago when I actually wrote that on the map, because there's now 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 accounts surrounding that. We have the Billingham Hill Wildman, the Kent Werewolf. We also have the Long-Armed Creature, Kent, UK. Dartford, this was, by the witness was named Charlotte in that one. The Chatham 8-Man, what I've already mentioned. And what's this? Bluebell Hill and the Walderslade Chatham 8-Man. So that's what have we got there? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 in a very small area. I'll put a picture of the map up on the video so that you can see that. And something unusual about these sightings is that for all they are close to rivers, most of these follow the national bike route. And when I had a look into anything strange that was happening, there are some strange things going on the cycle routes across the UK, and you can check it out for yourself. It's all out there on Google. Very large boulders being placed across the bike tracks, or big trunks of trees placed across the bike paths. Could be humans. Could be a bit of vigilante. Don't want, bikers in the area. I'm not sure. But getting back to the first account, a huge bat-like creature. Now, that can't be confused as an ape-man, can it? We can't say that in any way, shape or form that is a British Bigfoot. So what did they see? Because that's not the only sighting that we have of a bat-like creature. If you think there's the Owlman, isn't there? The Owlman, I can't pronounce it. It's down in Devon. I think it's Mar1, something like that. I can't pronounce it at all. That was probably really bad, Deborah. And then there's a Vulture Man. I'm just scanning my map now, seeing if I can pull it up. And there's also another Batman account. Now, the problem you have with sightings is, A, you have to know what you've seen. And B, it has to be something you're familiar with. So, if you've never seen this creature before, you don't have anything to go on, do you? You don't have anything of relevance that you could say, well, it looked like a bear, or it looked like a badger. You have to draw on your imagination, I think. So, I mean, whatever they've seen has been 5 foot tall, and it's did he say quadrupedal? I presume he meant on all fours. But then he said it waddled, so it must have been up on 2 feet to have waddled. And it doesn't fit in with then any of the other counts around. But for them to go to the police, they must have been frightened. They must have seen something. And then you got the validation of other people witnessing strange things in the area. And then you could say, well, that's it then, isn't it? That's it from the 60s. But it's not. Like we say, from now we have a look, you've got another like 6 or 7 sightings all around. And these sightings seem to follow the bike path, like I said. Up to the cooling camp, we have a Bigfoot account there. And then as we go to the Isle of Grain, there's another one there. She described it as a Sasquatch. And that's, once again, around an estuary. So, we are finding similar things in similar places. The problem we're having is the witnesses are reporting them with so many different names. But that's understandable. I think that's understandable. Not many people know about Bigfoot in the UK, do they? Not many people have something that they can fall back on to say, well, actually, it looked like that. So a lot of the reports come in as werewolves, dogmen, ape man, gorilla man, orangutan, anything, red-eyed bear, anything that a witness could say, well, it looked like this. It wasn't that, but it looked similar to that, But what this Batman creature was, I don't know. It sounds very similar to the Mothman in America, doesn't it? But if any more reports come in of any very strange creatures, I will bring them here to you, and for you to enjoy. So until next time, thank you very much for tuning in. Goodbye.